Supreme Leader Snoke was set up to be the overarching antagonist of the entirety of the sequel trilogy, despite his early dispatch in the movie The Last Jedi by Rian Johnson, who desired to make the fans not think what they were expecting and kill Snoke off, with J.J. Abrams obviously bringing Palpatine back because that was the last idea that he had. One of the more interesting and mystic and arcane ideas that I developed about Snoke during his tenure as a tyrannical Force user and dark side acolyte over the First Order was the gold ring that was worn upon his finger. A golden etched ring was owned by Supreme Leader Snoke of the First Order, who wore it on the index finger of his left hand, which was highly deformed. Etched upon the ring were glyphs of the Draughty, and the top of the ring featured an obsidian from the Sith cave on Mustafar, underneath the catacombs of Darth Vader's own Sith castle. Snoke wore the ring prior and during the Battle of Oichi in 34 ABY, where he was killed. It was originally constructed at Fortress Vader, which was the castle located on Mustafar. Made of gold, the ring was gold in coloration, and inscribed and encrusted with the ancient glyphs of the Draughty. Affixed to the top was a black shard of obsidian, harvested from the Sith cave located beneath Fortress Vader, Darth Vader's own castle, in its catacombs, created by the year of 34 ABY. The ring was found at Fortress Vader by Snoke, the Supreme Leader of the First Order, who wore it on the index finger of his left hand. Snoke wore the ring when training his apprentice, Kylo Ren, the fallen Ben Solo, in both the Ra'Lech system and on the planet Dagobah, the ancient planet that Yoda had used during his exile after the decimation of the Jedi Order and his failure against Darth Sidious, as well as when he was aboard his own flagship, the Supremacy, the only Mega-class Star Destroyer to ever be constructed in Star Wars. During the Battle of Oichi in 34 ABY, as Snoke sat upon his throne during the engagement, he was betrayed by the conflicted Ren, who, now aligned with the dark side, used the Force to bisect him with the Skywalker lightsaber, the most historic blade and relic in Star Wars canon. The blade also cut through both of Snoke's wrists, leaving his left hand, still wearing the ring, lying upon the arm of his throne as he was killed. Sometime later that same year, a statue of Snoke bearing the ring had been put on display by the Ithorian collector Donk Ondar on his shop, the Den of Antiques on the planet Batuu. It is most likely to believe that Snoke's ring possessed healing or perhaps some regenerative properties, as we compare the images from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Both movies, I would like to add, take place mere minutes apart from one another. We can see that the wound that has infected Snoke's head and has run a scar slithering across his skull has severely diminished in size. We can also deduct, based on his attire, that the many wounds, including the malformed zygoma, have begun to close. This theory was quickly dismissed, however, but this ring still remains one of the more cryptic parts about Supreme Leader Snoke.